Okay, so first there she comes. I just started the bus.
Good morning.
Padma Shri.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Nowadays, meaning running and catching the bus is becoming.
An habit.
Morning traffic.
When I was a child, I used to like to do it, but
Now you have made it like that.
running and getting down, catching generally would not happen because we would be there before the bus comes there. But getting down, I would like to do that. But now running and catching it.
Yeah. Okay, so before we begin, one question to all the three of you. All three have to answer. So, what is Sukha?
Whatever makes us comfortable physically and mentally is what our Manava Sukha
Okay, fine.
makes more comfortable.
For me, Sukha is when the mind is not pressurized to think about it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I think we have discussed this many times. What is Sukha? It is absence of anxiety and worry and all that.
Right. So now let us go deeper into it because that is more required now than what we had discussed earlier. So what is Su? I think Bhatt can answer.
Su is Suvasana, Susandarbha. Su means always good,
Good.
auspicious.
Okay, and what is Kha?
Ka means it's opposite word or what?
No.
Eating. Huh?
No. Kha means senses.
Oh, Ka is senses.
So that which brings good to senses is Sukha. And that which that doesn't bring good to senses is Dukkha. Du is bad and Kha is sense.
Yes.
So in the Nirvana Shataka, the first line, Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chitta
Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani.
Naham. Right. So I want to tell you what really happens using this. So the mind, what we call as Mano, is a instrument which has ability to have impressions. It's like a reflecting mirror. On that, anything can get imprinted. Okay, that is what Mano is. Buddhi is that discriminating faculty which can recognize that object and suggest what it should be done. That is the Buddhi. Ahankara is that which conditions itself to believe that I am doing something. So the doership is Ahankara. Chitta is the one which provides the electric current to all the three with its own coloring. Coloring created by mental impressions. So whatever the mental impressions are, it will try to produce the same effect. So using the five senses, when the sense object comes, there is an impingement or some impression created on the mind, and mind grasps it by intellect, which is Buddhi, and it says what that object is. So now in this particular case, it is the company where I am working currently. So when the building comes, when we are going on the Whitefield Road and when the building comes, the impression is felt on the mind, and immediately the buddhi will say, here you are in this place where you work. So even if you are sleeping, you wake up and you know you are inside that building. Ahankara is saying that yes, I am in this building. So we are all reached ABB, that entrance, reception area, whatever we call. So all of these are concepts which are stored in the buddhi, and it creates that impression in the mind, which is manos or mano. And the chitta makes that experience possible. So if you call it as reception, it will make you feel you are in reception. If you call that you are in the parking lot, it will make you feel that you are in parking lot. So all that impression, what is said, what is heard, what is seen, what is touched, what is smelt, and what is tasted, is created on the mind's that mirror kind of object. On that the consciousness shines. This is called a chidabhasa. So when I say sukha, what it really means is that all of this, that is manas, buddhi, ahankara, chitta, are experiencing the same through manas. And ahankara will say, I have experienced. It's just not experiencer, it is I am experiencing, or I am experienced. And that I am comes through the ego. And the chitta makes sure that ahankara feels that. So there is a feeling in ahankara, there is a feeling in mano, and there is a feeling in buddhi. All the three taken together will call it as I, through the senses, whichever sense door it is coming from. So if it is coming from eye sense door, then I am seeing it. If it is coming from ear sense door, I am hearing it. Like that. So this is the one which creates sukha. So it's always sensual realm, because it's the senses which are driving that kind of experience. So let's say that building is liked by few people and the building is not liked by few people, because in their mind's eye, the impression what they have is not pleasurable. Maybe they have tripped and fallen, or they have to wait long time before they can sign in and go inside, or sometimes that security thing doesn't work, that fingerprinting doesn't work, so there are a lot of frustration. So that experience is dukkha. So it is dependent on the five senses plus manas plus buddhi plus ahankara plus chitta. But in all of this, the consciousness is forgotten. And hence, Shankara says that mano buddhi ahankara chitta ninaham. Okay. So if somebody were to ask, who are you? You are just a collection of five senses. That's all. Nothing else. So if you know this, then you have understood the truth. If you have not understood this, then no matter the sixth verse, vadantu shastrani yajantu devan, that we can keep on doing it. You will never see that consciousness, because the consciousness shines on the mind's eye, which is nothing but that reflective surface. and that reflection is created by the chitta. So basically, when a question what was asked by Padmashree yesterday is how can one experience awareness when, if I say I am aware, it is the mind which becomes aware. What you need to do is you need to remove one of the sense and it falls down, because it's on a very shaky foundation. The whole of 6 senses are on a very shaky foundation, so you can create that tremor in such a way that the 6 senses fall down. And what happens is that you will start looking really what you are than what was fabricated. So this is a fabrication. Sukha and dukkha are fabrication. They really don't exist like that. So when you go to sleep, there is neither sukha nor dukkha, and hence you are very blissfully happy. That happiness in sleep you will never get when you are awake, because the senses provides the input and the buddhi will look into that and investigate and recognize and say, this is good for me, this is bad. So the mind will then put good, and so you get a value 1, 0. So 0 representing good and 1 representing bad, and the binary kind of thing. So it becomes true or false. So then on the binary values, if I use this the mental frame, which is neuron firing, so each of these neurons will that is chitta, will carry the message that what is good and what is bad. So you are trying to search, you in the sense the mind is trying to search for that impression which is good and leaving out the impression which is bad. But when it gets the bad one, it will search for good. So it is in a most stressful mode. So sukha is that which doesn't have any stress. Dukkha is that which has stress. So who has stress is the mind has stress, because it has impressions. So it is looking for impression which is what it had. So it wants to retain that impression only, because buddhi keeps on saying that this is the impression what you should have, and the outside object doesn't carry that impression. So you have to remove that outside object basically. Any questions?
Explanation is perfect. So sukha and dukkha is for sthula sharira or only sukshma sharira here?
It is for sukshma sharira.
So sthula sharira, there is no sukha dukkha.
Not at all.
It is just inert because of that.
It is inert, just like a mosquito comes and bites.
So energy comes from from say Brahman to Sukshma Sharira. From Sukshma Sharira, it comes to our body also, right?
Yes.
So because it is in third layer, doesn't have that brain and all that. It is just body.
Yes.
But I also heard that body has got its own some muscle memory or something.
It has its own intelligence. That is given by Prakriti. It is common for everyone. It is there in plant, it is there in animal, it is also there in humans. So it knows how to deal with certain things. But that memory is very less when compared to the mental memories. And also that energy is lesser when compared to the energy what the mind will possess.
So Sukha Dukkha is only for Sukshma Sharira. And within the Sukshma Sharira, where exactly this Sukha and Dukkha is felt?
This becomes an intellectual problem now. You have to see within yourself where it is falling. All of this Sukha and Dukkha falls on the mind. That's all.
Okay.
All the impressions of Sukha and Dukkha is on the mind.
that is going back to the chitta then. It is mind is a part of chitta, right?
Yeah, mind has chitta. It's not mind is part of chitta. Mind has chitta.
Mind has chitta.
So they all are distinct people. There are 4 people. One is mano, individual. Buddhi is an individual. Ahankara is an individual. Chitta is an individual. All the 4 are different people as such. They have got nothing to do with each other.
Okay, out of mano, buddhi, ahankara, chitta, this experience happens in chitta, right? Or in all 4? The sukha and dukkha experience.
No, experience provider is chitta. But by itself it will not experience anything.
Provider is the chitta.
And experienced by ahankara.
Yeah, ahankara will have up and downs.
So what happens is, first the light falls on the mano through the chitta. And the chitta carries just light, but by the time it comes to mano, it has some distortion of what it likes and what it doesn't like. So that falls on the manas, and buddhi will say what to do with it, to accept or reject. Based upon that, the ahankara will say, I am liking it, I am not liking it.
So like dislike happens in ahankara, department.
Yeah, the final decision maker is ahankara.
Using buddhi
and manas.
So finally, the impression, the impacted, or finally that faculty is ahankara here.
Correct.
Because his ahankara will have dent because of this external impression what he gets from external world.
Yes.
ಅವನ ಅಹಂಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಕಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ, something like that word we use, na?
So this problem is that 7th verse, if you do good work, it is not going to lead to liberation, because good work is another impression. That's what it says. You want Amrita.
7th one. Yeah, okay.
7th one. Amritatyasya na asha asti vittena iti eva hi shrutihi braviti karmanaha muktehe ahetukam sputam yataha. So if you want immortality, you cannot do only good deeds and say I am going to get immortal, because that is again an impression and it goes back to ahankara. So 7th verse says that just because we are doing punya phala, that going to get into mukti, not possible. So whether I do puja or I do dana, or I maintain a good relationship with others and all that, yes, indeed it's a punya phala, but it is not liberation.
So adhara is Veda here. Veda says karma will not give you moksha.
Correct. So reciting Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda will not give you liberation. It in fact brings you more into bondage.
Any karma.
See, there are 2 karmas. One is good karma, bad karma. Sukha and dukkha. Simple. So by doing good karma, you are ensuring that you get sukha. By doing bad karma, you are ensuring that you suffer. You suffer means the chittas will carry only suffering, and then that is shown by that happens in the manas. Buddhi says that this is suffering, and then ahankara says that I am suffering.
Okay, now I understood. Your word earlier used to say, don't you use the word karma, you do karya.
Yes.
The moment you bring this raga, dvesha and all that, it will become karma.
Yes, it can become good karma or bad karma. Only two things. That's the reason.
But the same work without raga and dvesha, it is karya.
It's karya, and then you will get into liberation, because there is nothing appear in the chitta. Chitta is pure. There is no color appearing there. So yellow color appearing is raga, red color appearing is dvesha, black color appearing is moha.
See, for example, now a guru is giving knowledge for shishya for liberation. For example, you are doing that. You are getting that knowledge from your guru, or you are getting that knowledge from some Veda Shastras from somewhere.
Correct.
So when you are doing this work, it is punya phala we say.
Yes.
But punya phala will happen if you think that you are doing something favor to others and I get benefit. But for you it is not punya phala, not papa phala, because you are not doing it with raga or dvesha. It
Correct.
is just the karma you are doing.
Correct. It is only karya. It is not karma.
Yeah, karya. You are doing just karya.
Yes. So I am.
It can be same. It can be same across all throughout our life, including our corporate life, our family
Yeah,
life,
that's what
our
I'm
social
telling
life.
you. That is what I'm telling you. Is you can do that, but provided you first get liberated, and then you can do it. Otherwise, if you are not liberated, if you are not realized, you cannot do this, because right now you know, and when you start working, you'll forget all about it, because
Correct.
it should appear in the chitta. And that is the reason Patanjali first itself he says yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. So the color should not come. RGB shouldn't come. Red, yellow, red and blue shouldn't come. Yellow is raga, red is dvesha, and blue color is moha. Blue is also for liberation. Blue is also for moha. So both are blue. Not understanding the blue is consciousness is ignorance, which is moha, and knowing that it is consciousness is actually what. So presently, when we look at the color appearing in the chitta aura, you will see it as black. The more the moha, the more the black. And that is the reason you have asatoma, satgamaya, tamasoma, jyotirgamaya, that one.
Yeah, that's the reason after realization, if you do or if you don't do, doesn't make any difference.
Yes, doesn't make any difference. Or shouldn't make any difference, basically.
But as per Vivekananda, if people are there around you, they are very hungry and they need food. It is your karya to give them the food. Otherwise, you will become papi. Is it true?
You just do your karya. Say somebody is sick, you attend to him. Why do you have to have raga and dvesha for attending to that person?
The thing is, see, there is also a definition here. Whether you do or don't do, doesn't make any difference.
Correct.
But here, in that karya kshetra, if you don't do, it's a problem. See that one sannyasi only. In front of him, something is happening. Now he has to save that person. If somebody is hungry, he is having roti. Now he has to give that roti to other guy. But here, whether you do it or doesn't do it, doesn't make any difference. That clarity I don't have.
No. See, that is.
There is no raga dvesha, but other person is hungry. What should I do? I have roti.
No, it is. I think you have misunderstood the whole thing. It is like this. If you don't have moha, okay, you will give your roti to him and you will go hungry without any problem.
No, on what basis I'll give my roti to him?
On what basis?
No raga, no dvesha. Whether you do it or doesn't do it, no difference. Then why should I give it to him?
No.
I'm a spiritual person, realized person.
No, realized person doesn't have raga and dvesha, right? If raga and dvesha is not there, then there is nothing called as your roti. Correct? There is no moha. So you will give the roti. It is like he is you. So whether you eat or he eats, they both are same, right?
Or don't eat is also same.
Yeah, fine.
Don't eat. Throw that out.
Whatever
What
you see, whatever you are going to do, you are going to do. So once you realize, you will come to know what it is. Otherwise, it will again get into this intellectual argument on what he should do. No,
Okay.
he will.
No, my question is, there is something called dharma for him. Dharma will come into picture. Say, your dharma is to give this roti to other person because he is angry.
No, there is no dharma at all, because he himself is dharma. Just like
If he himself is dharma, he will definitely give without raga dvesha.
just like you
That is dharma.
yes, so you are saying that he doesn't have raga and dvesha. So if he doesn't have raga and dvesha, there is no moha also. The roti is a moha. So not giving the roti is a moha. Giving the roti is also moha, because when I give the roti, I giving the roti, right? So there is moha, which is punya phala. Now, if I don't give the roti, then it is papa phala.
Yes. That is the dvandva. I wanted clarity there.
Yes. So if I don't have raga, dvesha, moha, is there any roti then?
Now I got answer also.
Okay, fine.
When you realized, that will tell you what is dharma, and
Yes.
you will do it.
Yes, exactly. So, mano, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, chitta. These four things, one has to clearly understand and clearly see it, what it does. So, manas creates only impressions. Buddhi only recognizes and evaluates. The ahankara will only say, I am doing this, I am doing that. Then the chitta provides the life to the other three. But it has colors. Yellow is raga, red is dvesha, and blue is moha. So if somebody is a mohaspada, that is, if we use the word mohaspada, that means he believes. Like, we have given a tag name called COVID-19. If somebody believes that really COVID-19 exists, that is blue. So that person is completely in moha. So what will happen to that person is, he will try to ensure that no coronavirus or COVID-19 comes. So he will not allow anybody to come to his home. He will wash his hands 100 times. He will be bathing in that sanitizer. All that he will be doing. Even then, if it comes, then he is going to blame on somebody. So that is the moha. Now where it is coming, this COVID-19, where it lands. COVID-19 lands through the ear. So ear sense door. And the ear sense door, there is sound. So the sound of COVID-19 is, because nobody can see where the virus is. Only the sound can be heard. So we have been talking about COVID-19. So that sound comes, and the sound first enters into the mind, which is nothing but the manas. So there is an impression, and that impression is fearful. Fearful because when it lands there, it comes with emotions attached with it. Who attached the emotion? It is the chitta. So it is dvesha. That is, shouldn't be accepted. Okay, then Buddhi says that, look, this is the message what I've got from chitta, that it shouldn't be accepted and we have to remove it from the mind. And now ahankara says that, okay, let me remove it from the mind. It cannot remove it from the mind. Simple. Because there are four different people. Ahankara doesn't have power to change the mind. Mind doesn't have any power to change the ahankara. Mind doesn't have any power to change the chitta. And chitta can change all the three. But it is colored. So nobody can do anything. So all these four people will be fighting. And these four people fighting is called as human being. Simple. So if you want to say where is human being?
No, interesting. Can you just say again? Who provides what you call material to other three for fighting?
Chitta.
Chitta provides medicine. What you call food.
Yes. Chitta is the consciousness coming from Chit. Sat, Chit, Ananda. So that Chit is literally contaminated, called Chitta. And that contamination enters into the mind, which is Manas. And the Buddhi investigates and says that, a dirt has come, so I will remove it from you. Which it itself is part of it. It cannot do anything. Okay. Then the Ahankara says that let me remove it. Meaning COVID-19, right? Or TV, somebody is watching TV. What is he seeing? He is seeing only 4 element as whatever that ambulance is 4 element, human being is 4 element, and the TV is also 4 element. Everything is 4 element. But what happens in the Chitta is that it gets colored with Raga. So then it becomes a human being there. Or it becomes an ambulance, so it becomes Dvesha. Nobody likes ambulance because of the sound it makes. And you see a person lying on a stretcher and is in pain. So you can see the pain, but you cannot feel the pain, you can see the pain. And the Chitta knows that this is pain. So it gives impression to the mind that this is pain. And the Buddhi will say you have to remove the pain. Ahankara says that I am in pain. Okay, that is what it is. So now let us say this is going on, that in the TV, suddenly you get a call from somebody saying that you have got 1 crore rupees as award. Immediately in the Chitta 1 crore will come. Okay? That goes as an impression into the mind. And the mind, as soon as the impression happens, the Buddhi will say, this is good for you. So Ahankara says that I got 1 crore. So what happened to that COVID thing? It is gone.
Correct. This is more powerful than that.
Yes. So till that time, you will be thinking about COVID. You, in the sense, Ahankara will be thinking on COVID.
The Chitta is that Chitta gets all the impressions, right? Yes. All those impressions, the moment light falls on that based on your Raga, Dvesha, Moha, that thing will start giving information to Manas. Based on what, at that point in time, what you do with your Pancha Jnanendriyas. If you see something, a sweet stall, if you like sweet, it will say go and eat sweet.
Yes.
Whether you have disease or not doesn't matter. Buddhi will go shunya there.
Correct. Buddhi will say, this is good for you, this is bad for you, this is good for you, this is bad for you. That's all what it knows to.
See, finally, a sugar patient in front of sweet stall, but he is very tempted because of his attachment to that sweet. And Buddhi will say it is good or bad. But then still his Manas says go and eat. His mind says, right? Manas is mind.
No. Ahankara will take it from Buddhi saying that you keep quiet, I like sweet, because that is appearing in the Chitta.
Oh, that is Ahankara. Okay.
Buddhi job is to just give you discrimination. No, discrimination, Viveka, to do or not to do. That is what the Buddhi's job is, or intellect job is.
Decision is taken where? This is Buddhi says the discrimination, fine. Decision taken.
Now you will not find who is taking the decision at all. If you try to, you as consciousness, try to investigate who is taking decision, you will find nobody is taking any decision. It just
Buddhi vihinaha.
Yes, so it just everything becomes shunya if you try to find that out.
Correct. That's the reason people take decision without buddhi. We use that word.
Yes.
Because end up with finally problems.
Yes. So this clarity, if you have as an experiencing one, experiencer is Ahankara. So what should happen is that the consciousness should make this Manas, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta go away. And then that is Brahman.
1 minute. Here, who is the experiencer in the whole Chitta Mind, buddhi and ahankara. Experiencer.
Experience provider is chitta.
Hmm.
But if you search for experiencer, you will not find experiencer at all.
Decision maker is not there, experiencer is also not there.
Yes, then that is what Drishya Viveka is all about.
Oh, that is called your Maya Mudra. Maya.
Maya. Ultimately,
But with your presence of mind, then you have experiencer, right?
yes, presence of mind shows that there is an experiencer, which is what Lata keeps on saying, that subtle intellect. Yes, that is the experiencer, but if you go beyond that, you will find there is no experiencer at all. If there is an experiencer, then there is something to be experienced. So again, it becomes Dvaita.
Now, are you talking about, now this is Sukshma Sharira discussion, what we have done so far. You are talking about the experiencer is the Karana Sharira there?
Karana Sharira doesn't have that at all. It has only Rajas, Tamas, Sattva.
Uh-huh.
So that is the reason, the fun part here is, except for Brahman, everything is Mithya. If you try to see where it is, you will be surprised. There is nobody there.
Everything is temporary.
Everything comes at that moment, that's all. Because of chitta, it comes into existence, and the chitta goes away, that also goes away. See, I'll give you an example. Somebody is dead. Okay? Somebody is dead. Why somebody is dead? Well, I'll give my own example, my own experience. So, 2019 January, I had taken off for my mother's first year death ceremony. Oh, sorry, 2020 January. 2019, yes, 2020 first year anniversary. So that was in February, first week or January end, whatever. The PO was to be raised or extended or whatever it is, and then it was not approved because the third party contract, there was an email that all third party contractors have to be, the contract shouldn't be extended or something like that. So now if we take this example, right, the chitta, what it was carrying at that point in time, the chitta was carrying the news, that is, I am doing a karya of my mother, first year anniversary, and Lata calls me and saying that, look, we can't extend your contract now. Okay, now what happened to my mother's impression at that point in time? It's gone. In its place, who came? Lata came. So now she said that the PO cannot be extended. So which is more harmful as a news to me?
Second one.
So what happened to my mother's karya?
From the mind, it is temporarily out.
Exactly. So now am I there to remove?
No, you are not in that ceremony at all.
No, because there is nobody from the beginning there. If I was there, then I would have stopped this Lata's phone not to interfere with me, right?
Correct.
So when this information came, immediately the mind in sense manas, impression happened. Fortunately, since I didn't have any raga, dvesha, moha, it just came as information. It had an impression in the mind, and the buddhi said, it's okay. Because that's the impression what it has got from the chitta. So ahankara said that, okay, this is not mine. So there was no agitation when Lata gave a call saying that, look, your PO is not getting extended. And I continue doing whatever I was doing. That is my mother's karya. Okay. And after a few hours, she messaged me saying that now she has got an email that we can go ahead. So PO will get extended. So it was just an information. But if I am having raga for continuation, it converts itself into dvesha. Because that information says that you are no longer going to continue. So, which becomes harmful to me? The second information is more harmful than the first information. So, I will start worrying over this PO not getting extended. So, is there any I? No, it is only ahankara which is in trouble. It is experiencer at this point in time. There is no person. Manas is giving that experience to ahankara. And because of that only Shankara said that mano buddhi ahankara chittanaham.
Correct.
So if you remove all these four, you are happy.
But if you don't have, see, that nigraha can be done only through not focusing there. Correct?
See, first you have to have this awareness, which Lata was talking about, or even you were speaking about yesterday. When you do the Gayatri, you are in that. So if you get that, then you are in consciousness. The moment you become that, Tattvam Asi, all these will fall away. There is no manas, there is no buddhi, there is no ahankara, there is no chitta.
Perfect, perfect. During that moment, nothing is there other than this very pleasant feeling.
And then you don't want anything then.
That is also true because you cannot compare.
So now these four are enemies.
But who is pulling from that stage again out?
It is the ahankara. See, you have something called as you, which is very strongly embedded, saying that you exist.
That is right.
So the first thing that has to get removed is you. If ahankara is not there, then the chitta is pure. And the buddhi will only say yes or no, true or false. So whatever the impression comes in the mind will be only the pure thing, not the impure ones.
If ahankara is not there, chitta is pure.
See that your Kedarnath experience, you went and stood there after trekking.
Yeah.
For that 1 second, there was no manas, buddhi, ahankara, chitta.
That is a momentary Paramananda.
And you felt you got that due to trekking. No. You were so exhausted, meaning the manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, chitta was so exhausted, it just gave up. Which is what happens in the night. When you sleep, manas, buddhi, ahankara, chitta is gone.
But you cannot experience because you are in the nidra stage. But here you can experience that.
No, you are in the nidra state because all the five senses have gone to sleep. Here, you can experience because all the five senses are active.
Okay. There, those five organs are
Sleeping.
They are sleeping. Just shut down the door. But here you are opening all five.
But yet there are no objects. All the five are open, but there are no objects.
Object. You are not doing any objectification. But you yourself is not there. That means your mind is not there, ahankara is not there.
Yes. So if somebody were to ask who is the experiencer, you'll smile at him. Because that's the only thing you can do. And that is the reason a realized person will always have a smile to all the questions.
The chitta is also not there. Chitta, some portion is there.
Chitta is always there, but the chitta is not there with this contaminants or this raga.
Oh, it's a pure chitta. Chitta is there, but it's pure chitta. Okay.
Which is reflecting the chit.
Chit is fully reflecting 100%. There is no any contamination there.
There is
Okay,
no
got it.
contamination. So what happens is that person will be ever in smile.
Yes.
So if somebody is dead, he will be smiling because he doesn't recognize that somebody is dead.
Yeah, because there such thing is not there.
Yes, in the
He is always happy.
he's always happy. So they will then throw stones at him. He's an idiot. He's laughing when somebody is crying.
Correct.
But actually he is he is a realized person.
He is realized. He doesn't have any moha on his own body.
Yes. So he will, if somebody hits him, he will take that hit and he will just go and sit in one place.
So you see, when you go to some trekking or somewhere, we enjoy the nature. But here, that the nature is also not permanent, because in that shape it is there only for a small time. That is the reason there is no need of even going to a remote place and enjoying. Wherever you are, you can have this sakshatkara.
Yes. To your question, Shankara answers in the 8th verse. If you can just go through that. Ataha vimuktai prayatita vidvan sanyasta bahyartha sukshasprihaha santam mahantam samupetya deshikam tena upadishta tatha upadishtartha samahita atma. Sukha.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yes. So if you go behind senses, that is, if the consciousness goes behind senses, it will only get dukkha, nothing else. Because it cannot rely on manas, it cannot rely on buddhi, it cannot rely on ahankara, it cannot rely on chitta. So if I say there is a son or a daughter, it is contaminated already. Chitta is contaminated. That has an impression on the mind, which is manas. Buddhi will say that yes, you have a son, you are able to see the sun, he is there every day. And you have a wife. So you have wife, yourself and a son. 3 people. Ahankara says that I am having myself, my son and my wife. Now you have problem. You want to change them, can never be changed. See, let us say my son wants to come and say that he doesn't want to do certain things. My love for him is gone, because he is not doing what I want him to do.
Yeah.
And when he does what I wanted him to do, I will feel very happy, but he is unhappy because he didn't wanted to do that. He's doing it because I wanted him to do it. So this ahankara, there are 3 ahankara now at my home. At this home, one ahankara is mine, another one is my son, another ahankara is wife, and another ahankara is my mother-in-law, who is also attending this class. So now we have 4 ahankaras. So the whatever is coming in the manas registers in the buddhi. It investigates, recognizes and investigates and say that do this. And ahankara will say, okay, I will do this. I am doing this. I am doing that. That's all what is being done. And the whole day will be spent only in this. Manas, buddhi, ahankara, chitta. So a person who wants to go through inner freedom should first renounce the senses and the sense pleasure, and he has to become sannyasi. Asi means staying, san means senses. Sannyasi is one who has stayed away from senses.
Sannyasi and Vairagi, both are same.
Vairagi is Vairagya, Raga is lust. If you don't have anything coming on the senses, you will become Vairagi. Because there is nothing to sense. I cannot sense my wife. So I am a Vairagi. I can sense her as a human being, but I cannot sense her as a wife, which is true. She is another human being. She is not wife. I cannot get a wife, no matter what people say. So I have another human being staying with me. Okay, so that is the 8th one. And he says 9th one, you cannot do anything. The Guru cannot do anything. It has to be done by one's own effort. Uddharet atma atmanam magnam samsara varidhau yoga rudha rudhatvam asadhya samyak darshana nisthaya. So this samsara, samsaranti, that is going in circle. So wife, husband, son in this home goes in circle. If you want to cut that, if I want to cut that, what should happen? The chitta shouldn't carry wife, husband and son. If that can be done, that person becomes a yogaruda. So now he gets...
But still you can live together, right?
Yeah, I have no problem.
See, out of 3, for example, one person is practicing this fully.
Yes.
No problem for other 2.
No problem for other 2. The other 2 will consider me, this person who is coming and talking to me thinks that I am her husband. It's fine. It's her problem, right? It's not my problem.
Yes.
See, I can say that I am not your husband, and she says, no, you are my husband. Now what I can do? It is coming in her chitta. So what I can do about it? I can only be compassionate to her that, oh, unfortunately it is coming to you as in your chitta as husband, when it was not true. See, in this girl whom I have married, we both have played together. There was no husband and wife. We both have gone to the same school. Yet if she feels, or yet if I feel I am her husband, or she feels that I am, if I feel I am her husband and she feels that she is my wife, then we are, only God alone can save me or save her. Because it was never there. And never it's going to be there. So the first thing I need to do is to stop this wife coming into the chitta. Then there is no impression in the mind. If there is no impression in the mind, there is no impression in the buddhi. If there is no impression in the buddhi, there is no impression in ahankara. Simple.
Correct.
So that is the uddharet. I have to lift myself only. I cannot make her lift me, or I cannot lift her. See, marriage is a ceremony. Just like stand-up meeting is a ceremony, retrospective is a ceremony, marriage is also a ceremony. some two people have to meet, they have called by different name, and that's all what it is. There is no sanctity to that, basically. So if I get attached to that non-sanctity one, because the society is there, you have to have a marriage, they have done that, and appreciate that, or feel that, yeah, this is good. But don't take it internally. What is there to take internally? Just like I come to office to work and I'm called as so and so designation in the organization, why should I take it so personally that I am that? No, I am not that. Tomorrow I will be something else. They'll give me another role. So when we both got married, there was no son. And then because of association, another being came into existence and we called it as son. Simple. Isn't it true? And that person will go away after a few years. He will go on his own. He will go on his life. That's all what it is.
Yeah.
See, right now, but in your case, your both our daughters are in US. You can only refer them. It's like if you take a software programming language and you can only refer. So you can have an array or a pointer, and you can point to that, saying that, oh, okay, my pointer is pointing to this array. So whenever you want, you can get back the values, what was initially stored in that. So initial storage was daughter. That's all. But you cannot interfere in their life now.
Correct.
So even though you have a super class as a class, but you...
No, after the age of 16, even if you interfere, it becomes too much in life. I think after 16 years of any human being, you cannot impose your ideas.
Yes.
You can give only direction.
Yes. And it is up to them to take it or not. So if we were to go by algorithm, then that class is not implementable. That means you cannot implement that class. That's all. Whatever you are...
Correct. Even direction is also same thing. Now you are making them to take a decision based on what do you call, without hurting others, for your growth.
Yes. So
and explore whatever the best possible. Try your best. That is the direction.
yes. So,
and don't miss any opportunity which is coming.
yes. So that's the reason you don't have any authority over anyone except for yourself.
That is right. I can get moksha only for me, not for others.
So you have to establish right discrimination, because you never had a daughter, you never had a wife. Same thing with me. I never had a wife and I never had a son. Simple.
Okay, Vilas, I think 9:33.
Oh my goodness.
We'll continue tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
It was good discussion. All foundation level discussions once again.
No, because this is foundation level. Again, we have come back to the same foundation.
Now we are able to think in a much more clearer way.
Yes. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, then. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you, Vilas.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Bye.